I'm here to talk about Sunny Autumn Winter 19 men's. I keep wanting to call it Sunnei for some reason, so I'm really sorry if I start slipping into that. That's totally incorrect. I think it is called Sunny. So really interesting brand on the Milan menswear schedule. It's a duo called, and I'm going to butcher this as well. I'm very aware I butchered Francesco Risso's name yesterday on the Marni review, so I think you pronounce it. Simone Rizzo and Loris Messina. So they're the duo behind the brand. The brand itself is quite young. It's been going for around 3 years, I think, give or take, maybe 4. And it's doing exceptionally well in the fact that it's kind of breaking the mold of Italian fashion. So when you think of Milan menswear, you think of traditional kind of shapes, traditional cuts. You might, oh, sorry, I'm wiggly woggling again. You might think of kind of tailoring and that kind of thing. This is really breaking away from the mold, from like leathers and furs and such, but trying to keep it very Italian still. So the idea is that everything is made in Italy. There's Italianness to the core of the brand, and they always reference kind of themselves and the people around them, the art around them, architecture around them. They're huge fans of Milan and the area they come from. So it is very much an Italian brand, just in a different sense of the word. This collection was their second co-ed show. So last season they introduced women's wear, which was fantastic, absolutely amazing. This season, women's wear is back again, second time showing, and they decided to start with the women's wear when designing. So using that as a jumping off point for the menswear, which I think is particularly interesting given that we're in the middle of menswear. It's a menswear brand. If you Google Sunnei, it does say menswear brand. So interesting that they started with women's wear first and then kind of unfolded the collection from there. The women's wear was absolutely fantastic. There were amazing shoes that are a continuation of last season. They're big, clunky boots, really big sole, and they sort of remind you a bit of kind of Steve Madden from the 90s, or Buffaloes, or kind of really big kickers, or whatever. I can't remember what the other ones are called, but I feel like they're hugely popular right now, so really smart of them, but also that's kind of a signature of theirs now. These really clunky boots, and in summer they were a sandal. This season they also had sandals which they were wearing with tights and in a different darker tone. They're swooshing great platforms with straps around, and that kind of adds to this almost cartoonish element. Oh, sorry, my thing's wobbling around again. Almost cartoonish element. As I was saying from Marni yesterday, there is something slightly cartoonish about Sunnei, and I don't mean that in prints or styling. I just mean the shoes are almost like if you were going to draw amazing platforms for a doll or something. They look almost unreal. They're so fun and but also super comfortable. And in that sense, there is something quite Marni about this collection, and also Sunnei in general. The colours they pick, those kind of oranges and blues, those clashing tones that shouldn't work but do, and are so sumptuous, were all present here. Slightly Marni element, but it doesn't feel in any way that they're playing copycat, or that you're looking at something that's being ripped off. It feels really true to the brand, and I think a lot of that comes from the fact that they're constantly looking to themselves for inspiration for the collection. Often they kind of reference friends or, as I said, artists and architecture. This time was all about a flashback of life moments. So the first time you went to high school, or the first time you had a date, or kind of growing up and all the stages of those, the maturity that comes with going to college, and really nice aspects of that. So that's why there's a real nice play within the collection of super youthful baggy pants that you have seen before at Sunnei. But here they're kind of cinched in the ankles, lots of drawstring ankles actually, throughout this collection, which for me feels really new. The bagginess is typical of Sunnei, and we've seen before that's kind of one of their signature styles. This keeps wobbling over, sorry. But the drawstring ankles were really nice, and here they were in jean material and also a suiting type shape, so kind of a green check. I think you could call it check. Looked a bit picnic blanket-esque on a female model, with the boots tucked in under, and the trousers have huge pockets on the side. So there's a slight utilitarianism to the suiting now, which is really lovely to see from Sunnei, because it tends to err on the side of casual wears, really, really fantastic, simple items, but with a fantastical twist. So this drawstrings, as I say, really interesting addition. Really loved that, and the suiting as well. As I mentioned before, they're kind of trying to push away from this stereotypical Milanese fashion, but there is suiting, but it's through their own lens. They take the tailoring, they take everything they know about Italian tailoring, and they twist it and completely make it their own. So wonderful three-piece. Will it stop wiggling? Sorry, everyone. Wonderful three-piece suits with kind of a really high neck, all kind of a wash one colour. So the opening look was a really neutral beige, all a wash, high neck that then goes into a boxy jacket, then into the wide leg trousers that are cinched at the ankle. So this kind of one wash of colour was really successful, and it happened on quite a few looks, or a wash of print with like a big long scarf going down, so your eyes just whoosh on one look. That was really impressive and really striking. But the suiting I was really impressed with, that three-piece. It feels really genuinely modern, and super covetable. This to me, the whole collection really was just kind of achingly cool. You look at these characters, and they just feel effortless, as in they look polished, they're slick, they're cool, but actually it also looks like they kind of got ready in 10 minutes, no big deal, like shades on. The shades are also designed in-house, and they're really wonderful kind of block ones, almost like Kurt Cobain-y. I should talk about the accessories actually, because they've mentioned in the press release that it's far from seasonal trends and hype, but actually the accessories such as the glasses, keeps doing this, I'm really sorry, with wool, the glasses, the shoes, and the bags. The bags for the men's were sort of crossbody bags with a tight leather pouch, with stripes either side in a different tone. So some were beige, some were brown, some black, and some kind of off mint. So the crossbody bag, the whole concept of a crossbody bag is really trend driven right now. Everyone wants one. Prada's doing them. So that kind of contradicts the press release a little bit for me. And also the women's wear bags are these clear PVC tortoiseshell in blue and brown. And that for me is also definitely a trend-driven piece. PVC is everywhere right now. So is leopard print. Those two are massive trend-led themes. And so that makes me think, actually, you probably were a little bit trend-driven there, but that's not a negative thing, and I don't think they should shy away from that. And actually, they were saying backstage that the accessories are driven from e-com, so they monitor the e-com and figure out what people want and what people like. So not necessarily trend-driven, but certainly driven by the consumer. But I don't think there's any shame in that. The bags work perfectly with the collection, as did the shoes were a continuation from last season. The sunglasses are fantastic, and they'll do exceptionally well. And often accessories are kind of the entry-level point for a lot of people. I don't think Sunnei is particularly high-end price-wise, but if you're kind of a student or someone who doesn't want to spend so much on a larger item such as a coat or a suit, you might want to tap into the sunglasses, you might want to tap into the shoes, you might want to tap into the bags. And these are all logoed, but the logo isn't kind of in your face. It's a really distinct kind of bubble font, which again kind of nods to old school Miu Miu. So you can kind of see the influence of Italian fashion here, but the rule book has definitely been thrown out the window, and just the whole collection was really, really impressive. The colorways, the new snap cinching of the waist on the girls, different textured collars, the three-piece suits, wide leg trousers, but here given the cinch of the ankle. The shoes I'm obsessed with, absolutely obsessed with. I think they're fantastic. I can imagine this collection doing really well in Korea, and I'm not sure why, but I just have a feeling. I can see like K-pop stars wearing this. And I hope that doesn't undo the cool factor of Sunnei, but I have a feeling it would go down really well in the K-pop scene. But yeah, I was thoroughly impressed, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do in spring summer. Whether they continue the shoes and keep molding them, because the shape is changes ever so slightly, but not too much. So I'm interested to see where that goes. Very interested to see where they keep pushing this Italian tradition out the window. And I thoroughly enjoy their colours. So